Hello, beautiful people. It's Celia Mutsuning Zengele. Onana. If you're coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, welcome. If you are a return sabi, welcome back again and thank you so much. I am so grateful for your time and your data that you keep on spending on my videos. Thank you so much, dear. I'm still carrying on. This is another story time, which is a continuation of my childhood. I ended up where I was telling you that my father decided to leave his job so that he cannot feed us. Fine, and then he went to report at the maintenance court that he's no longer working. Therefore, my mom could not get any maintenance anymore to support us. So my mom had to work alone. She was a domestic worker. But lucky enough, by this time he's starting these tricks, I was at the college. I was doing second year at the college. So we struggled for that year, the second year. I think it was in the middle of the second year and the third year. And then lucky enough, after then I did get a job. I just a month into my completion, yes. I started working on the 26th of January. Fine. And then things started being easier then, from then onwards. And then he lived his life happily wherever he was. And we also carried on, and at least by this time I was at the age where I was self-sufficient and I could help my mom. So I was just okay that I don't get to have to look for him wherever he was. So we tend to forget about him at this particular time. I am 22, 23 by then. And I think I got married when I was 26, 28. When I was 28, I had my first child. When I was 32, I had my second child. And by the time I get my second child, my firstborn was 4 years old. So she was older, but I remember that I think it must have been when the youngest one by then was about a year old or 2 years old, when the oldest child was like, "Mama, how come Papa has both parents and you have only one?" So she is the first person to plant a seed of, where is your father? And that's when I started thinking again, where is this guy? Why is this person? And she would ask again and again that, where is your father? You said you have a father. Where is your father? And now, because she is only a child, she was about 4, 5, 6 years when she's asking these questions. It's not easy to tell her the whole story. And you do know these children, whenever you don't give them a satisfactory answer to them, they are like a dog that has seen a bone that has got some little bit of flesh somewhere. They will, be like, ah, ah. So she was like that. Okay. And she carried on asking. But little did she know that she was planting a seed in me that, you know what, I've got to find this guy. And women, here is one thing that I would like to share with you. Take it or leave it. My advice is, if you are madly in love with whoever you are madly in love with, do not, and I will repeat, do not share everything about your life with them, particularly with regards to your family. Do not tell them if there is anyone that you are not in good terms with. Make excuses. I don't care what you say, but do not tell them the whole truth. I learned that the hard way, because when I was madly in love with the father of my children, my husband, I told him everything, my hardest childhood, my what, and he was listening. By the time I get an inkling that tells me that you need to go and look for your father, who do I turn to? My husband, of course. I can't do that. That is a drastic step. I can't do it without telling my husband. I tell him, what does he say? What are you going to do to the person that did not care about you when you were a child? Now he's the one that reminds me, and the pain that comes with being reminded about something which is not even a lie. It's a truth, but you don't want to hear it at that time. You want support, and you're not getting support because people are like, you have painted this picture of this person. We have accepted that picture, and we are not willing to change that picture that you have given to us. So we do not understand what got into you. Why would you want to go back there? And at that time, you are like, this happened to me. And if I am at a space where I feel like I am okay enough to go make peace with those people, it shouldn't be a matter to you. To you, I just need support. Guess what? It did not happen that way. I did not get support from him, but I begged him and begged him and begged him. And my husband was one person that was very, very supportive. My ex-husband, let me say so. I don't know why I keep doing that. He's even married to someone else. Yeah, I'm still calling him my husband. He's not my husband, guys. He's my ex-husband. We are divorced. But it's just that when I talk about this, I put myself in that space at that time. So to me, it becomes the present. It becomes fresh. That is why I refer to him as my husband. It's like I am in that moment at that particular time. But this is not the right way to talk, I know, because if his present woman ever comes across this now, it can create problems between the two of them now, which is something that I do not want. Fine. So he became unsupportive of the idea of me wanting to go look for him. Then I turned to my brother, my partner in crime. By this time, he's also married. He has a wife. They did not have children by then, but I turned to his wife and fuel her because my brother did not want to hear a thing. That, no, that guy, he was still in that angry mode. So I got to the side of the wife and tried to win the wife, and it was not difficult to win the wife's approval and support. And she did the same that side. She pushed the husband. Finally, he gave in. My brother gave in. And also, I was doing the same, pushing my ex-husband this side. And he finally gave in as well. So we set a date. We went there to look for him. For the first time, we couldn't find him. And then we told the neighbors. And we left our contacts and told him that we were going to come the following week. Definitely following week we go, we find him. He has even invited an older lady from next door and another neighbor, not the one that we had left information to. They were happy, and then there were songs. Oh, now it's church. I was so like, guys, I feel like as Black people, we lack a lot. Whenever we've got issues that we need to confront, we like to hide behind the Bible, behind the church, behind everything. Believe me, at that particular moment, I needed not church. Church was the list of things that I needed. But here he was, brought this woman that is a pastor somewhere in some church. He was attending that church now. Actually, he called a female pastor from a church, although she was a neighbor, to come and now, go a whole service on us. And guess what the service is about? Forgiveness. Oh, forgiveness. Oh, making peace. Oh, reconciling. What? And I'm like, these people, they are irritating me. But then, okay, fine. You know what? You cannot change what people believe in. So you just let them. But I don't want to lie. At that particular moment, I felt like just standing up and going. But then we did stay until they were done. It took forever, an hour or more of a church service, unplanned church service. Fine, okay, we sit down, and then he doesn't know us. Oh, he knows me. He doesn't know anybody else. He mistakenly thought my husband was my brother. And he did not know my brother. He assumed my brother was the other brother. How about that? When a person cannot even recognize their own children. When a person is going to sit there and mistakenly identify children that are not his as his. How embarrassing is that? I'm sharing this for someone who is a male figure out there, who doesn't know where his children is. Go look for your children. These things are not nice. They leave damages. They leave wounds, open wounds that are difficult to heal. Go look for your child. Go look for your children if you don't know where you are and you are a male figure out there. If you are a woman, you don't know where your children are, please go find your children. Mommy, go back. Go look for your children. It makes a difference that you did step out and you went to look for them. Unlike my father, I still have that anger that why did it have to be me that made the first move to go look for him? Fine. Life goes on from then onwards. We leave our numbers there. He is excited and happy to see us. He is in a begging mode now. Let's talk about the condition we find him in. We find him alone now, with no wife, no child. The history that we get from him by this time is that wife that I told you about that had 10 children, including the 2 twins, which were my father's twins. He doesn't know where they are to, because he also abandoned them the same way he abandoned us. He married 3 more women after that one. And my father was a marrier, guys. My father was not a type of fat and set. My father was a type that takes out lobola. Remember, he was working for a company that pays very well. So he was a kind of a person that believes that he cannot leave le ngwana motho a sa mo lobola. So all those women knew my father's lobola, so he married them. He even signed and divorced and signed and divorced and signed and divorced. And then we find him, he says, I'm also divorced again with the last woman. He tells us that his story is that with this woman, by the time he left his job, avoiding to maintain us, he was with this wife. This wife had an RDP house. He extended the wife's RDP house and made it a big house. After then, he got sick. He got diagnosed with prostate cancer. Then his manly machine started not working. As it started not operating, and he says he had married a very young wife. He was younger than him. She was younger than him, far younger than him. He says, the wife said, you know what, since you are now sick and you can't help me, and then now I'm still young, allow me to find someone that can satisfy me. Those are his words. And then, of course, he wouldn't agree, but he claims the wife then ended up having another man. Those were his words. And then the wife's children started chasing him away for complaining about this woman that now has another man. The children of this woman said, you know what? This is our mother's house. If you're not satisfied with our mother's choices, please leave her alone. And he said, but I extended this house. They said, it's fine. Put the wheels on your house and remove it. Ensure that you leave our mother's RDP here. By this time, he had bought a van there. He had opened a tuck shop there because he was not living. He was no longer working, He was no longer working. So he opened a tuck shop so that they can get some income. And the van for stocking and so on and so on. Now, when they chase him out, in his words, he left everything there. He left the house. He left the van there. He left the tuck shop there. He had to leave because the children were like, please move out of our mother's space. If you're not satisfied with her choices, just leave. And besides, you are sick. Go find your children. He was reminded by those children that he needs to go and find us. He did not even bother and at least follow their advice then. He didn't. He did not bother. He went somewhere to stay somewhere in Everton and rent a place there while he's there. Luckily enough, earlier on, years before, he had registered an RDP house, and while he was there, lucky for him, that house that he had registered way earlier came out. That's how he got to have a house that he could call his. He is sick now by the time we find him. He has blockage problems. Sometimes the urine does not come out. It gets trapped. And he says it's such an irritating feeling. He was like feeling like there's something hot in there if the urine is trapped, and he has to be taken to the hospital so that it can be unblocked. It can only be unblocked at the hospital. He lives alone. He gives the neighbors my numbers. Who does he call whenever he is blocked now? whom I don't even know who he was calling before I came to his life. By this time, I'm the only child of his that has a car. Then I have to wake up at night, and that husband, that ex-husband, did not want to hear a thing. Where am I going? Around 12 midnight, 1 midnight. Why am I going out at that time? When I'm telling him, hey, they say my father, he used to be disgusted. He wouldn't say much. He was not a talker. But I could tell that he is disgusted. But because he's my father, I had to push. And I'm the one that went to find him. I went out of my way to go find him. Now he is my problem. I carried that problem. Somewhere along the way, I got divorced. My brother also got divorced. And my brother ended up having a car as well. At least he got to help as well. And by this time now, I don't know what kind of spirit did he plant between me and my brother, because we ended up having no peace between us, me and my brother. Now the two of us are going there alternatively. We can't go parallel. We can't go the two of us and go and see how we can help each other out. I blame him for that. My brother has got marriage problems. I also have marriage problems. But my brother is blaming me for his marriage problems. Till today. And then my father goes and do the worst. He got sick 2013. He got severely sick now. I don't know where my brother is by then. He has moved from the place that I know. By the way, I said I'm the first of 4. The 2 younger brothers never wanted a thing to do with him. A thing. They just told us we are not ready. We are not ready to face that man. We don't know him. That time my youngest brother could not even point him, because he was that kind of a man that decided that he is never gonna see his children after that. Even when he was the last incident was that one where I told you that he brought the police to wake us up at night and telling the police that there is a man that sleeps with my mom there. That was the last time he saw us, his children. Even when he was taking out maintenance, he never tried to say, okay, let me see these kids that I'm maintaining. Never. So he did not know the other 2 children of his. He could not meet them at the street and say, that is my child. Remember, he even mistakenly thought my brother, my ex-husband, is one of his children. That's how bad the situation was. Fine, so they said, no, we are not ready. We want nothing to do with him. So we do not bother them. We respected their wishes. At least I thought they would also have that time when they are ready to want to have a relationship with him. Little did I know that he was going to pass even long before they were there. Fine. 2013 he got sick. Worse. More than ever before. He got worse. I don't know where my brother is. I have to take him to the hospital. I even went with my mom to take him to the hospital at night. 1 o'clock at night, we took my mother to Kopano Hospital in Vereeniging. He is there. He seems to have dementia. He is there. He sees people. He says, I'm seeing this one. I'm seeing that one. Hey, here they are. Don't you see them? You know that kind of talk that people usually say If people start talking like this, that means they are about to leave. He stayed at the hospital for about 2 weeks, but he did mention something like he has given one of my uncles, which I don't even know, something. Okay. But because he had dementia, he was talking things that most of them are not there. I did not even take that seriously. Now comes a time that the hospital discharges him after 2 weeks. Now I'm thinking, we are not in good terms with my brother. I don't even know where he is. I cannot take him and go dump him with my mom. Never. He was not there for my mom. He left my mom long time ago. And by this time when they released him, they did tell me that he's not going to live long. They are not promising anything because there is nothing that can be done for him anymore. He has to be discharged because other patients need beds. I said and thought, what can I do? Because I'm also working and I cannot afford to hire someone that can take care of him. That's when I thought of an idea of a hospice. I went to a hospice. I did find a space for him in the hospice. We transferred him from that hospital to the hospice with that boyfriend of mine that later on said we went to dump my father at the hospice. You know what? Let me not even go there. Fine. I take him to hospice. It's a Wednesday, the 20th November 2013. And 27 November 2013, he dies. I get a call. He has passed away. It's a Wednesday. The following week, I was supposed to go to the 2nd of December. It would be a Monday. I was supposed to go start at the marking center, grade 12 marking center. There was nothing that would stop me to go to the main to the marking center. So I thought, you know what? And you know what? Hey, things are very strange, guys. You would struggle alone. You would struggle alone. The minute people hear somebody has passed away, you won't even know how did they know. Where were they all this time? Because they all come. They all appear from nowhere, from under the stones, from under wherever they come. But yet, when you needed help, they were not there. My brother was there. My uncles were there. They did the rituals that I didn't even know we've got rituals that needs to be done. They were there at the hospice doing rituals, coming from all the way from nowhere. They were there. Fine, no problem. We transferred him to the mortuary. Guess what? Now comes a time when money is needed. No one, I swear to God, offered even a 10 rands. Among all these people, my brother, who had been estranged with me for a long time, because now he was blaming me for his failed marriage, whereas mine had also failed, came from nowhere, but he did not have anything. He said he had taken a policy for my father, and that policy was gonna pay, but only the following week. And since I want the funeral to happen that very weekend, then I'll have to make a plan, because he's not going to be able to help me with anything that week. He will foot the bill the following week when that money comes out. What do? I do everything I can that I bury my father. Because even my mom had a policy for my father all that time, but also it was gonna pay the following week. What did I do? I'm not bragging here, guys. I did everything in my power, including borrowing money. Even from that boyfriend that told me I dumped my father at the hospice, he also chipped in to help my father be buried. He got buried. Saturday, after we come back from the grave, we come home. Just after we've eaten, my brother calls a meeting, a family meeting. You know, black people with family meetings after the funeral? Yeah, it happened to us as well. That time, my father's house is a one room RDP house, so there's no space. My brother is calling all members of the family that I don't even know why, what is their significance in that meeting. Calls them. I find the meeting so big. And then he tells us that house is his house. My father gave that house to him. Oh, okay, really? Yes. Now I'm asking this uncle, my father said there was something that he gave to you, the papers of the house. Where are they? That uncle said he knows nothing. I know nothing. What? No, I don't know anything. Stupid me. I believe him. I forgot one part. Yeah. This is very, very important. When my father passed on the 27th of November, on the 28th, I'm at Home Affairs trying to get a certificate, a death certificate. They are refusing to give me the death certificate, saying, according to the death certificate, my father was married and married in community of property. Therefore, they need a wife. Where is the wife? We do not know. He said to us he has divorced. We never asked where is the divorce decree. We did not ask. We find when we have to bury him that this guy is still married to that lady. That was the crucial part that I have forgotten. So fine. I beg and tell them that we've got no ways and no means to find that lady because we have no clue, no idea where she is. We know nothing. We knew our father to have been divorced to her. We only hearing for the first time that he is still married to her. But we are the children. They check there. They want my ID. They check that and they find that yes, I am his child. That's how I got to get there, that certificate. With difficulty though. Fine. Now on Saturday, my uncle says he knows nothing. Okay, fine. Sunday, I'm there. My aunts are there. This very uncle is there as well. As if like these people are helping cleaning up and what. Guess what? No. I only have to discover now in 2022. Now, 2022 in August. That Sunday, these people were there to give my brother the title deed of the house. My father had given my uncle the title deed and told him to give it to my brother. And now this uncle gave the title deed to my brother. Why give the title deed behind other children's backs? I don't know. Was it his instruction? So they say. If it was his instruction, why did he talk about it before he died? If he wanted it to be a secret? Don't know. Now, here's the problem. Now, the wife comes up. Now, the wife says, that house is also mine because we were married in community of property. I've got 50% shares in that house. This is an RDP house, guys. This is an RDP house. This wife has a house, the one that my father extended as well. Now my brother has to come out of this house because now this wife belongs to this woman. Do you see the mess that my father did? Even beyond his grave, he is creating problems for us. Because my brother was comfortable there, and I'm okay. I do not mind, even though I feel like it was supposed to have been done, because there are four, not even four of us. Remember, my father has got other 2 children that we don't know where they are. We don't know the status of their well-being, where they are. He was supposed to have said this house is a family house for his 6 children, because he's got 6 children. Okay, if not counting me, because by then I had already had my own place to stay. I was already married and already had my own problems, but we had a house, which I had at the time when he was dying. At least he could have said it's a family house for 5 children then. Why did he not do that? Why did he not divorce this wife? We lived with my father from 2006 until 2013 when he died. We never saw that wife. We never heard about that wife. We never heard a thing about that wife. He had told that they divorced with that wife. We knew him and that wife to be divorced. And I wouldn't have thought of asking, where is the divorce letter? Where is the divorce settlement? Where is the divorce what? Only now we discovered that my brother, Leona, has been living with that title deed. He did not bother going to change the title deed all this time, but he was told that place is his. Now we have to now be here. I need to help my brother fight for the house. How do I do that when he has left? He left something, some bad spirit between me and my brother. Because I really do believe he was like that. He is the one that threw a bone between us, because we started fighting after going to him. And the strange thing is, after him knowing that me and my husband split up, he started going to my husband's side, my husband's family. He started being friends with my husband's family, my ex-husband's family. And he did not know those people. I got married while he was still absent in our lives. He went and introduced himself and made sure, and those people remember, my ex-husband raped our daughter. That's how we got to divorce. He told me straight-faced that he is siding with those people. He does not believe me, does not believe my story. No father can do that. He said so on my face. He even told me, because when I got married, I didn't look for him at that time. Do you see what kind of a father my father was? You know, the day he said that, I cried so bad. Because it was the first time after we split, I thought, let me go and tell my father, because I felt like, I don't know, man. You know what? When you're a child, even when you're an adult, you still feel like, let me go and tell my father. And I didn't want him to find out from someone else. That's when he told me that there's just no such a thing. There is no way my ex-husband can do that to our child. It's his child. There's just no way. I must be lying. And ibilane kela heile, because I was supposed to have looked for him when I got married, so that he can give me blessings. So my marriage was not blessed because he was not there. I cried. guys, I cried. I got into my car. I just drove. I drove until there was no petrol in the car. I drove. The children did not know where I am. They called my mother. No one knew where I was. I was just driving from the deep pain. Because I felt so betrayed. I felt, oh, I cannot even get into all the feelings that I had that day from his words. And as if that was not enough, immediately after that, he went straight to that family. He became friends with that family. But here I was. Whenever he was sick, I was still there. He became friends with the family that was fighting me for speaking up about what happened at my home. He became their friend. He became that thing. He became their skivvy. He was helping with things there. They were giving him food. And at the same breath, at the same time, then my brother and I, now we started not seeing eye to eye. My brother started accusing me of things that I do not know about his marriage. He split up of his marriage. That's why I suspect him. I suspect his I don't know, his evilness in all that. And his evilness followed him even when he died. Because he made sure that my brother is now left with this house. Now, he forgot to tell him to change the papers. Because I think he could have, not that if he had changed the papers, this wife could not have a claim now. No, I want to say, had he changed the papers in that 2013, when he was given this title deed, had he made efforts to change that title deed to himself, then he could have seen that there is someone that is attached to this house legally. And we could have seen how best can we deal with that situation. Now, it is 9 years after his death. 9 years after his death, the woman comes, the woman says, this is my house, I need 50% of the share of this house. Now we have to fight with someone that we do not know. We're seeing for the first time, and we are not united with my brother. It kills me. It kills me. Because that's my brother. I love my brother. And we've been through hell and back with that brother of mine. I'd rather have that house be my brother's than be claimed by someone else. And I believe if that wife is going to claim the house, this house, then that means we also have a claim in her house then. And we are not going to ever claim the house, even though we know that we are told that our father left that and that and what and what and what not. We did not care about that. Hence, I'm saying, even in death, my father still finds a way to disturb our peace. Still finds a way to cause pain to us, even in his death. I'm saying this for a woman and a man out there who do not know where their children are, who are busy getting into contracts, getting into marriages with other people, who are not thinking of how that will affect their children after they are dead. Go do the right thing now while you are still alive, while you still can, so that should anything happen to you, you know that you have sorted everything with your children. Imagine your children having a difficulty their whole life, living without having a home their whole life. Once you are old, you get a house given by the government. Even that house has to be taken away from your children by your acts, by your previous dealings. So we still are without a home. on my father's side. Now we have to go fight my mom's side. Whereas at least we could split this, could say to that side, to share that side, to share this side. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. That was that. That is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. I do not have any more strength to talk about this. We are carrying pain. We are walking around. We are walking zombies with different kinds of pains in our bodies, in our minds, in our emotions, in our beings. Thank you. Bye-bye.